Welcome to the Wonder Lab. It's lovely to have you here. Before we begin, I'd love to know where in the have you ever wondered what reality really is? What if the universe you see, or the stars, the earth, even your own hands, is not what it seems? What if beneath everything there's a hidden code, a deeper pattern that creates the world we live in? That code is called quantum mechanics, the science of the very small. But don't let that fool you, because the smallest things in the universe create everything you can see. When scientists first entered the quantum world, they expected to find tiny building blocks, simple particles that would explain everything. But what they found was something stranger. At the smallest level, reality doesn't behave like a solid thing. It behaves like a mystery. An electron, for example, isn't just a point moving through space. It's also a wave, spreading everywhere at once. It can be in many places at the same time. It only becomes one thing in one place when it is observed. This idea shook the foundations of science, because it meant that the simple act of looking could change the outcome of reality itself. When we try to imagine the universe as a machine, something predictable, fixed, and logical, quantum physics laughs at us. It says reality doesn't play by your rules. In the quantum world, a particle can disappear and reappear. It can tunnel through walls that should be impossible to cross. It can become entangled, linked with another particle in such a way that when one changes, the other reacts instantly, even if they're light years apart. Einstein called this spooky action at a distance. He didn't like it, but experiments proved it was real. That's quantum entanglement, the idea that everything in the universe can be connected in ways we can't see. And this connection isn't just theory. It's happening everywhere, all the time. Inside your body, inside the stars, inside the fabric of space itself. Quantum tunneling, for example, the ability of particles to pass through barriers, isn't just strange math. It's what powers the stars. Without it, the sun wouldn't shine, because the protons in the core of the sun shouldn't be able to fuse together. They're both positive and should repel each other. But through quantum tunneling, they cheat the odds, slipping through barriers and creating light. That means every sunrise you've ever seen is a reminder of quantum mechanics at work. The deeper we look, the stranger it gets. What we call solid matter is mostly empty space. Atoms are tiny worlds made of probabilities, not certainty. Electrons don't orbit like planets. They exist in clouds of possibility. This means the reality you see around you, the walls, the ground, even your body, isn't truly solid. It's a field of vibrations, waves, and probabilities that your senses translate into stability. The world feels stable only because we're not looking close enough to see it dancing. But here's the real question. Why does this hidden code, this quantum world, behave this way? Why should the universe be built from uncertainty? Why not something simple, clear, and predictable? The answer may be that uncertainty is the source of creativity. If everything was fixed, nothing new could ever happen. No change, no growth, no life. It's the uncertainty, the maybes of the quantum world that allow the universe to create. Quantum mechanics isn't just about particles. It's about possibilities. Every moment the universe isn't choosing just one future, it's creating countless potential futures. And we are part of that creation. Every choice you make, every thought you have, is part of this web of possibilities. You're not separate from the quantum world. You are the quantum world, taking form for a short time. Now let's go even deeper. Imagine you could zoom into nothing, into pure, empty space. What would you find? Not silence, not stillness. You would find activity, energy, movement, creation. The vacuum of space isn't empty. It's full of tiny fluctuations, particles appearing and disappearing constantly. Scientists call this the quantum vacuum. It's the restless sea of potential that fills all of space. And here's the incredible part. Many scientists believe that the universe itself, the Big Bang, may have started from one of these fluctuations. In other words, everything that exists could have come from nothing. A random ripple in the void became the cosmos. Think about that for a moment. All of history, every galaxy, every mind might have started from a single quantum event. That's the power of this code. The universe didn't need something outside it to create itself. The rules of creation were already hidden within it, and even now, this code keeps writing the story of existence. Quantum mechanics also challenges how we think about time. In our everyday lives, time feels like a straight line, past, present, future. But at the quantum level, time can behave differently. In some experiments, the future seems to affect the past. In others, particles act as if they exist in all times at once, until observed. Some scientists even say the universe might be timeless, with all moments existing together like pages of a book. We move through that book one page at a time. But the whole story already exists. Einstein once said, "The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubborn illusion." Quantum physics might be proving him right. What if time isn't flowing? What if we're just moving through the landscape of a timeless universe, a universe made of probability, awareness, and connection? This brings us to something even deeper, the observer. In the quantum world, things don't become real until they are measured or observed. So who, or what is the observer? At first, scientists thought it was just the measuring device. But some believe it could be something more. Maybe consciousness itself plays a role in choosing what becomes real. That doesn't mean we think things into existence like magic. But it could mean that awareness and reality are somehow linked. That the act of noticing is part of how the universe defines itself. It's almost as if the universe needs to look at itself to exist. And the way it looks is through us, you, right now, hearing this. You are part of the universe observing itself. You are made of stardust, atoms, and energy that have been here since the beginning of time. But you're also something new, the part of the universe that has become self-aware. Some scientists even explore quantum biology, finding signs of quantum behavior inside living things, in how birds navigate using quantum sensors, in how plants use quantum tunneling to capture sunlight more efficiently, and maybe even in our own brains. If that's true, then consciousness might not be separate from the quantum world. It might be its highest expression, a mirror held up by the universe, so it can see itself. Now think about this. The structure of the human brain, with billions of neurons connected in a web, looks almost identical to the structure of the universe itself. Billions of galaxies connected by filaments of dark matter. Two patterns, one design. Maybe the universe isn't just physical. Maybe it's also mental, a vast mind made of energy, space, and thought. And if that's true, then everything from a falling leaf to a shining star, is part of one living system. We used to think of the universe as a machine. Now it looks more like a dream, a flowing field of energy, probability, and meaning. A dream so detailed that it believes itself to be real, and we are the dreamers and the dreamed. So what does all this mean for us? It means the forgotten code of the universe isn't lost in time or buried in ancient ruins. It's right here, inside everything, inside you. It's the way the universe speaks, not in words, but in waves. Not in certainty, but in possibility. Every breath, every heartbeat, every thought is part of that code. You are not a small being lost in the vastness of space. You are space, aware of itself. A brief spark of infinity, taking shape for a moment in time. When you look at the stars, you are looking at the past. But the light you see is also part of the present, the same quantum connection linking you to the beginning of the universe. That light traveled billions of years, so that one day it could reach your eyes, so that the universe could see itself through you. Maybe the meaning of all this isn't about finding certainty. Maybe it's about learning to live with mystery, to understand that not everything must be known. Some things are meant to be experienced, because in every particle, in every wave, in every moment of awareness, the universe is whispering, "You are part of me." And so, in the end, the forgotten code of the universe isn't written in math or hidden in stars. It's written in you, in your mind, in your choices, in your wonder. The code is simple. From uncertainty comes creation. From creation comes awareness. And from awareness comes meaning. The universe is not a riddle to be solved. It's a story to be lived. And you are one of its most beautiful lines. Because in the vast ocean of possibilities, out of all the countless quantum paths that could have been, the universe chose this one. It chose you, and that is the forgotten code of the universe. Every particle, every atom, every flicker of energy lives in a dance of probabilities. Yet, out of this chaos comes order. Out of randomness comes the universe itself. When we observe the universe, we don't just watch it, we shape it. Our act of looking, of measuring, collapses infinite possibilities into one solid moment. It's as if reality waits for consciousness to decide which version of itself will exist. This is the paradox that has haunted scientists for over a century. Does consciousness create reality, or does reality create consciousness? The deeper we look, the blurrier the line becomes. The great physicist John Wheeler once said, "The universe does not exist out there, independent of us. We are part of the equation." Perhaps reality is a vast cosmic feedback loop, where the universe observes itself through us. Imagine this. Billions of years ago, quantum fluctuations in the early universe created the first sparks of matter. From those tiny ripples came galaxies, stars, and planets. And eventually, from those same atoms, came you, the observer, the one asking the question, the one collapsing the wave. We often think of ourselves as separate from the universe, small beings on a tiny planet, lost in endless space. But what if it's the other way around? What if the universe is not around us, but within us? What if consciousness is not a side effect of matter, but the very code that makes matter real? Every thought, every emotion, every decision you make sends a ripple through the quantum field. Maybe not in ways we can yet measure, but perhaps in ways the universe itself understands. Because at the smallest level, everything is connected. Quantum entanglement tells us that two particles, once connected, remain linked no matter how far apart they travel. Change one and the other responds instantly, as if space and time no longer exist between them. This isn't science fiction. It's one of the most tested and verified phenomena in physics, and if that's true for particles, could it be true for us? Could every human, every thought, every soul be entangled in ways beyond our comprehension? Tiny echoes of a single cosmic mind? Maybe that's why we feel wonder when we look at the stars. Maybe that's the universe remembering itself. In quantum mechanics, there's a theory called decoherence. It describes how the strange, fuzzy world of quantum possibilities becomes the solid, predictable world we live in. It's the bridge between dreams and reality, between the infinite and the now. But what if decoherence isn't just a physical process, but a metaphor for life itself? Every choice you make collapses a universe of possibilities into a single reality. You become the observer, shaping the future with every decision. Maybe destiny isn't something written in the stars. Maybe it's written in the wave functions, waiting for you to look, to choose, to collapse them into being. The deeper we go, the more the boundaries dissolve. Time, space, matter, energy all become vibrations in the same cosmic field. A field that hums with information, structure, and meaning. a field that physicists now call the quantum vacuum, but ancient philosophers might have called the soul of the universe. When we study quantum physics, we're not just studying particles. We're listening to the heartbeat of creation. Each equation, each experiment is like a message, written in the language of light and probability, telling us that the universe is not dead or mechanical. It's alive with possibility, and maybe that's what we've been missing. For centuries, we've tried to separate science and meaning, but perhaps they were never apart. Perhaps the universe is both, a grand machine and a living poem. Every discovery in quantum physics doesn't just reveal how the universe works, it reveals why it exists at all. It tells us that behind every atom lies a mystery too deep for logic alone, a pattern too elegant to be random, and maybe that's the forgotten code, the hidden symmetry between mind and matter, between observer and observed, between existence and awareness. So when you look up at the night sky, remember those stars are not distant strangers. They are ancient memories of the same light that burns within you. The same energy, the same quantum fire, still dances in your cells, in your thoughts, in your heartbeat. Maybe that's the ultimate truth of quantum reality, that the universe is not made of things, but of relationships. Not of objects, but of interactions. And in every interaction, in every choice, in every spark of awareness, the universe becomes real again. You are not small. You are the way the universe looks at itself, and one day, when all the equations are solved, when science and philosophy finally meet at the same horizon, we may realize that we were never trying to understand the universe. We were trying to remember it because maybe the forgotten code of the universe was never out there to begin with. Maybe it has always been within us, waiting to awaken. But if the code is within us, what happens when we forget it? For centuries, humanity has looked outward, to the stars, to the atoms, to the endless maps of matter, searching for answers. Yet, perhaps what we were truly searching for was not information, but connection, because somewhere along the way we began to think of the universe as a thing, something to measure, to master, to control. But the universe is not a machine we stand beside. It's a story we're still writing. Every moment of awareness, every time you stop and truly see, is the universe remembering itself through you. Maybe that's why consciousness exists at all. Not as an accident of biology, but as the mirror of creation, the eye that allows the cosmos to witness its own beauty. Think about it. The same quantum laws that sculpt the galaxies also shape your thoughts. The same uncertainty that defines a photon's path defines your choices too. In both physics and life, nothing is fixed until you decide where to look. And in that moment of choice, reality shifts. Maybe that's why the universe feels alive when you notice it. When you stand beneath the stars and feel that strange pull in your chest, that's not emptiness. That's recognition, a quiet realization that the atoms inside you were once the heart of a star, and someday they will be again. You are not just made from the universe. You are made of it. Every neuron in your brain hums with the same quantum fields that ripple through distant galaxies. Every heartbeat is a tiny echo of the Big Bang, the universe's first great pulse still resonating in every living thing. And so, we find ourselves here, aware, alive, asking questions. That is the universe's greatest mystery. Out of cold equations and silent matter came curiosity, a spark that not only survives, but seeks to understand itself. Maybe this is the purpose hidden inside the code, not control, not power, but awareness, the drive to know, to see, to connect, to turn chaos into meaning. In the end, every theory, every equation, every observation leads to the same realization. We are not outside observers of the universe. We are participants in its unfolding. Every thought changes the field. Every action writes the next line. And every dream is a probability waiting to collapse into being. Time itself might not be what we think it is. Perhaps it isn't a line, but a field, all moments existing at once, waiting for awareness to light them up like constellations across an infinite night. And maybe that's why memory feels sacred, because remembering is a form of creation. Every time we remember who we are, the universe remembers itself too. So, what is the forgotten code of the universe? It's not written in symbols or particles. It's written in experience, in the way you breathe, love, wonder, and dream. It's the pattern that connects everything, energy, matter, thought, and time, woven together by one simple truth. Existence knows itself. When we live with that awareness, the world begins to shift. Every moment becomes alive with meaning. Every face becomes familiar. Every sound becomes a note in the cosmic symphony. And the border between you and the universe begins to dissolve because you were never separate. You were never small. You were never lost. You were, and always have been, the consciousness of the cosmos. The equation that solves itself, the observer and the observed, the dreamer and the dream. And maybe that's how it all ends. Not with silence, but with understanding that the forgotten code was never meant to be discovered. It was meant to be remembered, because in remembering it, the universe remembers you.